The spookiest dish.
I need to bump myself up a bit. There we go. Now I can be seen. How wonderful that is. And now all we must do is hit the at going D&D and say, hey, we be going live with Cup Game.
Oh, now we have the boop boop.
We boop booped. Do you like the boop boop?
We have to see the boop boop.
All the boop boop. Do not forget the boop boop. God damn, I really need to organize my shiz on the character sheet. The first thing I see is a wall of text from all the notes I have had from, like, previous games.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Snow. How's it going?
It's snowing. It's snowing outside.
No, it's not snow. Warm. It's warm.
Warm snow.
Yes, it's a warm snow.
I see. Hello. And welcome. The little crevice. The crevice of Saturday.
I would like to revise my statement. I have close to before my character sheet starts, I have close to 2 pages worth of notes for things that's happening next game slash Yazoo's note.
Or did you say Yazoo? What did you say? Yazoo's witch?
Note.
No. Okay.
You in pain? Oh no. Please. Gush,
That's
not
awesome,
gush.
yeah.
Gush is a bad word. I did not wish to use gush. Gush. Please, enlighten us, and tell us the tale of yourself, of your pain and sorrow. What caused such a pain?
Indulge to us your suffering.
Indulge us, yes.
Devour our sweet treats.
Okay, cool. I found it. It was in a different place because I realized all of that note was too long, so I put it under death fails, which I feel could be indicative of what is to come.
You know what? Sometimes you just gotta like. Sometimes you just gotta like break a couple eggs before you realize that your character's dead.
Um, Imagine playing Elden Ring, but you fight barehanded, but it's PvP. Did you get into a fight? Is that the? I mean, I have been in a good old scrap.
It sounds like season 3.
Season 3?
Yeah. Just recently, WoW has put out it is in its third season of PvP, so the whole bracket reset. So all the it's entirely front loaded. A bunch of
Okay.
really good people. So I
My
mean,
brain is keep on going to regular life, which is strange because it usually doesn't do this. So I was expecting you to have almost got robbed on the train again.
yeah, you know what? Tarkov with just a pistol. That's pretty much equivalent.
Yeah.
Like I would almost say very equivalent. Because
You
Tarkov, if I'm
know,
not, yeah, no, Tarkov's the game I'm thinking of. Right.
I am heartbroken that bot started with "Hello, sorry for bothering you." That actually tugged on my heartstrings. I know, but like I need to discuss how sorry for bothering you tugged on my heartstrings, and then it starts. Okay, I was shooting it. I'm gonna shoot it once I remember how to. Goodbye. I wish you stopped being a bot.
Well, I mean, if it stops being a bot, then it's going to be an actual person who responds to you and is like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to bother you. I'm sorry, I'll go away. If it's not a bot.
Well, that is better than a robot making
Well, a
me
robot
feel
just,
things. Could you imagine a robot or AI making me feel things and crying?
yeah, that's pretty, I can't
That would
imagine
be
that.
absolutely ridiculous. I would not accept such things.
No, I wouldn't either. In
That's
fact,
good.
anything that could do that is like, might as well just be shot and killed at this point.
Oh god, that. Yes, definitely. Now let's play the server, which is, doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. It
It
doesn't
doesn't
count.
count. The server doesn't count.
It 100% does count, but it doesn't count.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's why we just gotta get our Kakuchi. Kakuichi? I don't know. Let's just get into it. Sell us with the last time.
Last time, on the exciting episodes of Holy Hunger Grail Games War Honor Edition, during the Death Game War, we had found ourselves a potential ally called Mitsuka Hollow and his servant Hiroko Moto. As we went to see their performance to finally establish the proper allyship with them, due to some complications beforehand, we noticed that the entire building was trapped. This building itself was to be the song ground of Mitsuka Hollow himself. Yes, the whole place will have turned out into a blender with, this place is not following fire regulations currently. There is way too many people inside the building. Mitsuka Hollow is really popular. That being said, we had found a way to confront the Catgrat Fan and Anne, the ones who had set this trap. Hiroko Moto had gone outside while Honra and Didi were invisible. This had led to a confrontation of sorts. As the battle started to wage, Hiroko Moto would 1v1 Anne until Didi showed up to buff him. And killing off the acronama of Didi. Ends up trying to call out the real one, which the real one does show up, but Anne is too paranoid to believe it, and doesn't think the real Didi has shown herself. She starts to get the upper hand with flurry of blows, stunning strikes. As that's pretty much it. We were in mid-combat. Didi was stunned. Hiroko Moto missed. And super paranoid is like, what did that last attack do? You missed. What the hell did it do?
It didn't miss. It just didn't actually do any damage.
Yeah. As
So,
now it is Honra's turn to paint them a tale. Do a performance, so to say. Because Anne is wanting a conclusion. And what is Honra other than an excellent storyteller who gives her audience members exactly what they want? Just not in the ways they expect. We continue this. The Holy Hunger Grail Games War. I don't have any other sentences to say, and I'm very bad with long dramatic pauses.
Don't worry, I'm also really bad at long dramatic pauses.
No, you're quite good at them. You just overuse them.
Yeah,
We were in the middle of combat and you did a long dramatic pause until today. For a whole week.
I mean, there is that moment where it's like halfway through a sentence, it'll be like, "Hello, I don't know."
It's funny because it's true though.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's unfortunate, but it's what we got. The battle was raging harder. At this point, Kakratfan had already expended one command spell at the minimum, and Honra did so in Keen. Recovery of one's servant was important for both longevity and survival. It, however, meant that their options of escape were now limited, the both of them. The only one who was unable to rely on such power was Hiroko Moto, as his master wasn't even aware he was fighting this battle. Hiroko Moto was also very injured, on some of the last legs of his very life. Only through means of some sort of ability was he able even to keep fighting to this point. His mysterious attack that landed left Castor completely confused. Some sort of chant behind it, a special ability granted entirely to him, with no immediate draw of what that meant, how that ability acted, what any part of it even did. On the meanwhile, Catgrat assailed Honra in an alleyway. What once was supposed to be a sneak attack quickly turned into a one-sided battle between the mage-killing monster, who worshipped the monastery much as her servant did, and Honra. This is where we bring our story down to. Catgrat recently swinging twice, proccing off of a mage slayer, managed not to land a blow on Honra thanks to the shield spell. It was now cycled into Honra's turn. Despite having two servants on the field, we were fairly evenly matched. The issue came from if Catgrat herself was going to be able to do much. She is, however, without a reaction, reminding.
Honra probably starts smiling, a devious and victorious smile in some ways. Honra is a storyteller, after all. As she has figured out the exact story to tell. I assume my command spells are hidden away, so it's no actual way to confirm whether or not I use the command spell, even though, it's probably clear that I have.
She made a note when you did, and she told you how many you had left.
Yes. As I'd like to walk 60 feet within Moto. Before you write it in, I kind of want to get most of it together. As my goal is to cast Silent Image. While I am casting Silent Image, near the end of my turn, I want to make sure it looks like any of the effects happening of Silent Image is happening to the close end of my turn, like as if it's on DD's turn. Can I make sure it's on DD's turn that it happens? Just to sell that illusion of DD's doing this. I don't know how Silent Image works fully. But while I'm casting Silent Image...
You can hold the cast of Silent Image as a reaction in result to Dee Dee's turn. Silent Image still does have components, remember?
Yes. I'll tweak it after I get through the entire description because Horner might be able to help me with the brain storytelling. But I will say, I give you permission to release your full aptitude. Restore Moto and make sure the next attack finishes this. As I want an image of Dee Dee appearing like a realish person, but like with a 2D space revealing a 3D version of Dee Dee, kind of breaking the mold of what usually happens with Dee Dee, making it look as if like the real Dee Dee is there. But I want the illusion to make it look like she has like more power essentially. Seemingly like as if she is more divine and angelic. Less Dee Dee and more Angel Dee Dee. Not like to an unbelievable degree, just small things here and there. As I would like Dee Dee to wave her magic wand and wink at Moto, enveloping the light. Just like enveloping him in light, having him grow a bit, but looks like he has temporary hit points and isn't energized, essentially. So I want to make a fake Dee Dee that she is hopefully going to believe is a real one. Unfortunately, I cannot roll any skill checks to coincide with that. But neither can she. So I'm relying on my passive performance versus her passive insight, which is probably has a chance to work, but probably won't. But it is something I must try nonetheless.
Do you want to save that cast to D? Or you want to save that as a reaction to Dee Dee's turn?
I think that's probably going to be the most. I think that's going to be the most convincing. And then to sell it even further, I'll probably free action, drop my weapon, and at the end of that be like, well, it is out of my hands now. Kind of like that whole overconfidence, Dee Dee's got this. That might be overselling it, but, you know. Still holding my Staff of Yazoo, because Staff of Yazoo is important. But not needing my ass. No, that's pushing it too far. I'll say it's out of my hands and then just leave it that. Oh, unless I want to do the full, like, religious crazy person and be like, yeah, it's out of my hands, Dee Dee, you've got this, your full power's released. Oh, that would be a fun one. No, yeah, I'll do that.
You're gonna have to describe the difference between what you just said.
Alrighty. So yeah, it's just the whole idea of like making myself seem a bit more like crazy, like as if I'm really like I give you permission to release your full aptitude. That whole line is like implying a lot more as if I've lost control of Dee Dee. That's the lore behind it. So that way, at the end of everything, of Dee Dee appearing and like having that 2D, 3D reveal, her being a bit more impressive, all of that stuff. At the end of that, the story is essentially Horner has let go of her final trump card and pretty much lets go of her rapier because she's prepared to die, sort of thing. The whole idea of it's all over. Like she is her full aptitude has been released. We are going to win this. Have like that crazy smile on. That sort of thing. And then saying the whole idea of it is out of my hands now. I'm sure you'll be able to achieve our goals towards the illusion of the angelic deity. I'm going full religious person. I'm going full story mode. They want that real deity. I'm giving them a real deity to like latch onto. I would roll a performance, but I'm physically incapable of doing so.
The hard part. Relying on passive performance. Then it looks like I'll just have to follow suit. Just with a wave of my magic wand, I'll have you grow.
She's doing the words behind it? She's helping my illusion? Oh my gods.
And then I'll restore your vitality, Moto. You truly don't know how insulting this is. Fake after fake after fake. What are you supposed to accomplish with this? Are you secretly an assassin? Do you have to stoop so low as to play with tricks?
Damn, it wasn't good enough. I mean,
Very
what? No,
well.
it's totally good enough. What do you mean? That's the real one.
Zealotry. That's cute. As she takes a look towards Honra, who's now in the open.
Damn, I'm gonna die here. Goodbye.
No.
Yeah, well. She's not afraid, actually. I mean, she's gonna die. She actually has accepted her death, essentially.
I'm not the kind of person to simply break code and go out of my way to kill you. But that is interference.
No, masters are allowed to cast spells, right?
Don't be so high and mighty. This is a battle between the 5 of us. Yes. Well, to say the least, it's more of a battle against 2 of us. We happen to have a little rider here who's playing extra. A little rider who's all out of works. Very well. I will dispel your illusion with a pulse of magic. The entire illusionary terrain, plus Catgrat's own silent image, is dispelled.
Damn.
But Angel Deity does not go away.
Of course not.
Well, that's entertaining. However, Angel Didi does not go away. Angel Didi seems to have suffered a considerable amount of damage nonetheless.
Dee's great with illusions, right? Dee's totally great with illusions. Yeah, totally, totally.
She definitely faked being stunned.
Did she actually? God damn it, I don't know.
No, she 100% faked being stunned. On her turn, she moved into the space of your illusion.
But isn't that really bad if she attacks? I have no clue.
Not if you assume she's going to cast Dispel Magic.
True, true, true.
Which she did last time. It's still dicey, I admit.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
And Hiroko Moto, within that moment, also seems to recover a large portion of health.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what I said would happen.
But not due to any influence from Didi. A long ways away. In a building on a stage. A certain young boy is now down to 2 command spells.
Damn!
Taking an offhand attack, punching Moto. It doesn't deal as much as her spells deal, but there is no stunning strike that follows. As Moto readies his blade, he strikes twice more. Both of them not landing killing attacks, but definitely damaging her down. He is pressing the advance. Catgrat, however, is not finished with Honra. Coming up right behind her with her steely dagger. She goes for an attack.
Looks like it's gonna
This
hit.
This attack looks like it will hit.
I will have to use shield again. Hope she doesn't crit me after this. Assuming I think it's gonna block.
One would have to hope. It's looking close.
Alright. I'll use shield.
She once again predictably goes in for a Mage Slayer attack again.
Yep. I should have used shield before she approached.
That might make her change her strategy, though.
Yeah, true, true.
Catgrat may be a schemer, but she doesn't actually seem to be that much of a fighter.
Does she hit?
She does not hit either of her attacks.
Good. I'm gonna run out of shield soon enough.
She does end up going in for an offhand strike with the book, which does hit, but it's getting hit by a book, and it only does 3 damage.
By
No,
God.
Catgrat doesn't seem like a fighter. She's putting in the effort, though.
Good for her, good for her.
Don't want to get hit by that knife, though.
Absolutely not.
Top of the turn.
Oh, Honra, wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me just look at my Commander Strike, see how much it does. I mean, this is gonna probably get me in the firing range as well. I'm within 60 feet of Moto.
You're
so I
well
can
within
move
range of
another
Moto.
30 closer, completely ignoring Catgrat. And use Commander Strike. On Moto.
There seems to be some sort of synergy that happens whenever Moto attacks as a reaction on his turn.
It's not even a reaction.
No, that's just something that Honra notices.
He also gains temporary hit points equal to half my level in Warlord, plus Charisma modifier, and gains extra damage.
All the extra damage. It's because Moto needs it.
Have I used Inspiring Presence or Inspiring Word today? I haven't.
Yeah, so I mean, you might as well.
Yep, I'll do both. And he is also going to gain temporary hit points. Expend their hit dice equal to 1/3 your class level, so 1. Which, he might not actually have any because of the command spells. Gosh.
Yeah. Good to know that Inspiring Word can essentially act as a quick way to heal a servant, like a couple hit dice. As Moto swings down, Caster's bloodied. There's a moment of pause in their combat where you can see the tone of the battle shift. Caster's now a little more on the worried side about combat. It's almost like they broke a certain threshold where Caster's beginning to reassess the situation.
She might actually trigger her trap.
Didi, taking a little bit of time to move out of range, twirls onto a lamppost. Apparently, we're taking an ad break.
God damn it. Okay, well, I should have had that open up on that of the screen then. Freaking ads. Ads are the worst.
I got skip the dishes.
God damn skip dishes. Oh my goodness. I don't give a damn about skip dishes. Oh my goodness.
Twice. I got 2 ads and they were both skip the dishes.
Both of them goddamn skip the dishes. Freaking skip the dishes. Skip your ads.
Didi twirls onto a lamppost, and with a wave of her magic wand, she vanishes.
Damn, just like getting the F out. Please help me not die. Does she look upset?
Anne can't afford. She can't afford to dispel again to try and pull Didi out of invisibility. She clearly has 2 trump cards. And her master doesn't seem to be pulling their weight.
No, they aren't. Run away, run away, run away, fucking coward. Sorry.
We don't want them to run away.
No, we don't.
If they run away, it might be combatively combatively great for our morale, but it's not good.
No, no, not at all. That's what Dee Dee's probably doing, preventing them from running away. Or saving me.
Fine. You were courteous enough to show me your pathetic excuse of an ability. Why don't I show you one of mine? Raising her staff in the air, she chants a bit of words, almost like she's expecting something to happen, but nothing does.
Dee Dee's the worst. Dee Dee's the worst.
Fine. If I cannot access my new reservoir of magic, I will simply just have to recover my own vitality. She taps herself on the shoulder, casting what you know as the spell Heal.
It doesn't work.
That slash that Moto made completely absorbs it. Caster has just wasted her turn.
Heck yeah.
In
She
one
tried to
attempt,
shred people in the concert hall, and then she tried to heal herself.
if you were wondering what that did, I think you now know the answer. The wounds that I deal when I'm serious, they don't heal easily. We needed to get you low enough so that you would never be able to recover out of it. I used this strategy once before on a rival warlord. He told me there was a nasty trick. Your warlord that you knew was also capable of healing? Yes. The only thing that I was ever able to do during my lifetime was not heal. I could never heal from the regret that steeped the one I loved. I surrounded myself with such beautiful flowers in an attempt to reach the lotus that had already dug into my heart. You're right that I am a villain. But know this, Caster. Just because I was a villain doesn't mean that I didn't die and live with honor. With his blade by his side, he moves in for a heavy attack, and with one fell swoop, takes Caster's head.
Damn.
As he drops to one knee, his blade sinking to the ground. Forgive me, for I have robbed this world of another beauty, even if their heart was ugly. Moto puts his head down in respect. One would expect Catgrat has one of a couple options here. To retreat and run away. To attack Honra. To give up. But she runs right at Hiroko Moto.
Oh yeah, trying to kill the man who killed, Are you sure you don't want to surrender?
Honra speaks, but she knows her words aren't even reaching Catgrat at this point.
Yep.
With knife in hand, she plunges down towards the servant.
I'm scared the knife will do something.
Hiroko Moto's at like 1 hit point. It could kill him.
No, he's not. He got full healed by his master, and then a bit
Not
by...
full healed, right?
She's and then, like, dumb. I gave him temporary hit points, plus, like, minimum healing.
She's just dumb.
No, she's overcome with grief.
With a swing of the knife downwards towards Hiroko Moto. She misses, only for the back of his blade to catch her in the jaw and knock her clean unconscious.
Phew.
Combat is over.
I'd like to pick up my rapier. And then I'd like to drink a mana potion. Well, yeah, probably will drink a mana potion.
Not a bad idea.
Mana potion, mana potion.
Remember when we have mana potions?
This is like one of the only times of having a mana potion. Oh, golly. Do I want 2 level 2 spell slots? Or... all of my first level spell slots back.
I'd at least get a level 2 spell slot just so you have invisibility or Misty Step should you need it.
Yeah, shield is not going to do much against a servant. And I shouldn't be constantly spamming shield, so I'll do 2 level 2 spell slots and 1 level 1 spell slot.
That was a hard-fought battle. I'm glad we came out victorious.
If you'd
you
like...
were pretty good out there.
Oh yeah. Was he saying that to Honra or Didi?
Honra. Didi's not going to show herself again.
Thank you. Of course, there's things I probably could have done differently, but in this case scenario, I have to do my best to make sure I don't die, while still providing you support.
Picking Catgrat up and throwing her over his shoulder. We never had a proper combat with the servant before. But I believe that our team can definitely pull it off. At least in this case against Castor.
My servant Didi might be able to keep Catgrat safe and out of the war until everything is over. I mean, it seems like you do not intend to kill her, which I don't necessarily disagree with. Honra actually doesn't have a problem with, like, I mean... she doesn't hate Catgrat, but strategically speaking, keeping her alive seems dangerous.
Kakrat has an ally. As much as keeping her alive is intelligent. For morale's sake. I more kept her alive so that she can answer for what she has done. And give her the option to take her own life in order to redeem herself.
I'll accept that full-heartedly. Besides, I do enjoy talking to people. I'm sure we have plenty of things to discuss, me and her. The servant body is fading away, right?
Her body is fading away.
Would the concert be starting by now, or it's about to start?
It's been going.
I'm going to head back on inside. I'm sure you'll be alright. I at least want to get some of that performance.
Go for it. Besides, I'll let you know how things turn out. He looks up at the lamppost where Dee Dee disappeared.
Alrighty. So she gets to go off and listen to the performance. She'd rather just, do other things, but whatever.
This is better. This is so much better. Being able to hear music, especially Mixika's music, unfettered by the whims of magic. This was the stir you wanted to hear back when you were here the first time. This is the thing that can rouse one's heart from desolation. The words remain true. It's almost hypnotic in a way. He really does have a talent for storytelling with his songs. If the two of you work together, Honra deeply feels that Yasu's right. Or he was right. Your team will win the war. It wouldn't have before. No, there were so many complications still happening. But now, Honra can see her wish being envisioned in such a like-minded individual who just doesn't know it yet. Honra can see her apprentice. High priestesses usually have a much longer run, and usually their apprentices are a lot more faithful. But Mixika is her apprentice. It's almost like it was destiny to be so. He's not as cold and ruthless as she can be. He doesn't have this innate skepticism. But in a way, she knows it's true. In her heart, she wouldn't have wanted anyone else to take the role. She may not be the High Priestess, but as Kiku said, she is and will be a leader. Whatever happens after the Grail, she knows who the next High Priestess will be. Meeksika Hollow. The aspiring songwriter. As the performance quells to its end, and Honra finds herself to the backstage, she can swear one or two moments resonated deeply with her to the point of instilling some tears. It was clear that the audience felt the same. People spoke left, right, and center about he should go global, or he would make so much more money if they just gave him the star stage in August. No, his stage was going to be much bigger than that. Hanku was the first one that Honra noticed. Her eyes, a little more deadpan, but her face read a smile. Almost like she had done something good.
I mean, I assume the sound sounded a lot better than it did before, just in a general sense of how it sounded.
It sounded a lot more professional.
Oh, yeah.
Honor gets the feeling that Hanku still does not care for the medium of the music, but at least Nitsika's probably listening to her. Of course, Hanku is classical. Nitsika is rap. You can have both, but neither of their styles truly overhang.
Did you enjoy your time?
That was an effective experience. Have you neutralized the threat?
Yes, I did. Alongside Hirokamoto and my not. Well, I guess he literally says his name constantly, right?
Okamoto, yeah.
His identity isn't a secret. Hirokamoto and Didi.
I was looking close here. The wall ornaments, the sigils started resounding. We were but 10 seconds later. It wouldn't have been well for the people in the audience.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that the battle took as long as it did then. I figured.
And there's my star! Honor is interrupted as Moto seems back already, moving over to Meeksika, who's guided off the stage, completely drawing the attention of the room. Hanku just
Congratulations on that excellent performance. It was truly moving.
Thank you. I saw you in the crowd about halfway through. Your friend gave me an indication that something was wrong outside. It's all in hand. Isn't that right?
What did you say, sorry?
It's all in hand.
Indeed. Luckily, everything was dealt with quite well.
I'm a little ashamed that I wasn't there to help. Nonsense. You did exactly what you needed to at exactly the right time. You inspired the hearts of your loyal followers.
I
Not
wasn't
only
going
that,
to let your performance be interrupted either.
thank you. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, that's the caster class servant gone. Meaning our alliance is capable of doing this, isn't it? Like, actually succeeding. Like, we can maybe win this war.
We're capable of doing more than just simply winning this war. But yes, I do believe we have a shot to the finals. But I think
We
there's
still
some
have
important
many.
things we should discuss beforehand. I have decided that I want to be your ally. Through and through, no matter what. But you still need to decide the same with me. Golly, sorry, I'm coughing for some reason.
It's all cover your ears.
Cover your ears. Cover your ears.
See any nightmare stuff?
Hmm?
You have to cover your ears. Do you see any nightmare stuff?
Nope, only in my mind.
Okay, well.
We're safe.
Stage one's ILO, stage two's the train.
Yeah.
I think we can form a good team. Although there was a little bit of a hiccup when we first started to do that. Meeksika just looks a little hesitant.
About me saying no?
Has that hiccup been resolved?
I was truly looking for a moment within that performance where I could have closed my eyes and listened to your music, only to have that darkness shrouding my heart be shattered away and a light to be seen once more, a beautiful light of inspiration. But I ended up breaking through that shadow when I talking to my brother last night. Or not last night, but like talking to my brother a while ago. Yet, at the same time, without my heart shrouded within that mourning, quote unquote mourning, your music was truly inspiring, and it even brought me to a point of tears at one point. Your words and inspiration, your storytelling through your songs. Well, I have no doubt that even if my heart was still shrouded within that darkness I found it in, that you would have been able to stir it.
I'm flattered. Thank you. Ah, this is a high honor. To move someone's heart like that isn't just some compliment. You're one stage closer to getting married, you know.
Do you think you impressed your love interest at this point?
I'm assuming you're saying that directly towards Meek-Seek.
Yeah. Because he was trying to impress a girl, right?
He looks a little bit embarrassed as his face goes completely flush. You know, I hope there's something along the lines there. She saw. I know she saw. If she wouldn't be making any moves anytime soon, it'd be a real shame.
Uh,
One's own heart can only be seeded by the right flower.
so
What?
is hmm?
We have some time to celebrate now.
Is Kiku around?
He is. He's just standing awkwardly in the shadow, and he was going to say something earlier, but it didn't really fit with the flow, so he didn't say it. But he is going to
Uh,
make his appearance known now.
he is going to?
Yes.
Perfect.
We did well today. It's not the best to get complacent. Our celebrations, after we're done them, will be moved to a new location. We need to work on our next advancement. As Kiku looks to the side, out of the shadow, comes somebody we haven't seen in a while. I'll even drag them
Angel?
on the screen.
Bring Kiku down. Wait, where is Kiku?
He's there.
Perfect. I need to move everyone so Kiku's on stage. Kiku's being blocked by my head currently.
He's hiding. He's just hiding.
He's shy. Just like that new anime. Shy.
Shy?
Shy.
Jai-sama.
It's a superhero one called
Oh,
Shy.
that one. That one.
The whole gimmick is that they're shy.
There is a little jump out of embarrassment that Mitsuka has to noticing the strange people walking from the shadows.
Mitsuka, meet my brother and his assistant.
We've sort of kind of met. You're the one who sent me that message. Yes. Thank you for looking out for Okamoto. So you're the one who figured out that I was getting quite damaged. Yes, thank you. He is very versatile.
Is the plan still to go after Berserker?
Today. Celebrate, rest, recuperate. We need to throw a smoke screen up in front of Berserker first. We need to try and limit the amount of death, but we don't have the resources to fight. Servants recover all of their hit dice over a rest, assuming they're supplied ample mana. We need to make sure that both of our servants are in peak condition before fighting a retainer revolt. If this is the executioner, they're going to be a harder challenge if they see us coming. We'll set up preparations, celebrate, and then be prepared to move out. I've already managed to rearrange your concert viewings. Worry not. Here's your new schedule. Angel is the one who passes it over to Hiroko Moto and Mixika.
Suit, did he say?
Sorry?
Did he say suit?
I've rearranged your concert scheduling so it doesn't get in the way.
How the fuck did he do that? Who knows?
That's easy. He just broke into the room.
Yep. Frickin' Kiku's great. Honyor's so happy and proud of Kiku. He's so cool and capable.
You're the one who fought an entire servant. Honor is the impressive one.
What are you talking about? Kiku's fought an entire servant before by himself.
Yeah, but they were a weak servant.
Oh, yeah, Zori, oh, you jerk. Zori is so much stronger than my servant.
Yeah, but Azori also could have probably just killed me. There. That is all I have to report. Do not let this ruin your spoils. But don't overindulge. Well, this is a pretty good schedule. You seem like you're the kind of trusty advisor type. I was looking for an advisor. I used to have an advisor back when I was leader of a province.
Oh my god! I mean, he never revoked his title as the King of Wayne, right?
Revoked it. He just said it doesn't. The title King of Wayne does not matter because they will both be in leadership positions. It's never revoked. He never revoked it.
Yeah. As somebody who's led the country of Wayne before, I don't think he's going to be taking up any secretary positions anytime soon. But
I'm overqualified for that position. I'm overqualified for that position.
Damn! Overqualified for the King of Wayne position or overqualified for secretary?
Probably both.
Yeah, I know.
I have done you a good dishonor. Allow me to formally apologize. It's fine. You do not need a bow. There seems to be a tension between Kiku and Moto for some reason. Neither of them probably understand what it is, but they both kind of got the feeling they won't like each other. But as you said, let's have a couple drinks and, well, non-alcoholic ones, of course, but have a couple drinks and snacks and revel a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. Enjoyment, happiness, joy, excitement, emotions.
No, we don't need to see them having fun. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it might matter because Mitsuka might build up the courage to be like, "What do you mean, the King of Wayne?" By the way,
What the hell does that mean?
That was the most casual lore drop ever. Oh
He's
no,
a
oh
servant
no,
too.
the head pat's too low. The head pat's too low. Okay, it's a head pat for you, Justin. You got a head pat. They give it the head pat for. It's fixed now, by the way. It's on me.
Seeing Angel again after so long. It was hard to say where Angel's allegiance truly lied. She originally was with Kiku, then, out of her own choice, chose to serve alongside Keita Makune, and now she's back to Kiku again. For Honora, Angel was to say the least, she was loyal, but hard to tell who she was loyal to. The fact that she was here implied that Kiku believed she was loyal to him, but Keita Makune made it out of here alive. He wasn't dead. At this point, Honra could almost confirm that Keita Makune lived and Didi had spared him for some reason. Which only begged the question, after Kiku's failure, why would Angel have any reason to really stick around? Of course, Hanku also saw this. Hanku was much more acclimated to combat, but even she was slightly weary of the presence of Angel.
This is during the celebration, right?
Now, this is summary during the celebration, yeah?
Oh, summary. Okay, cool. I hope Homer goes over to be like, hey, Angel, you cool? You want a drink?
You can't drink. She's only 14. She's not 14. I think the youngest person here is Mixika.
Yeah.
There is a moment where Honra does end up talking with Mixika a little bit. A light conversation about how Hanku, if Hanku had provided any helpful tips, which she had. Sika was a little uncomfortable around Hanku because Hanku was very judgmental. Every little thing she would poke apart as if it was her life's work. Eccentric, as he called her. Not a word normally that would be associated with Hanku. Who was normally solemn, soft-spoken, and rather intense. Moto, on the other hand, enjoyed himself as one would assume. He actually kind of reminded Honra of Yazu in many ways. While Yazu's celebration was a lot more kempt and calm, he almost had this inner party nature behind him. He was regal, but he also looked like the kind of person who would enjoy hanging out at that kid park. The one with the weird fast traveling cars that wreck it around the rails, the roller coaster. He looked like the kind of person who would absolutely adore and yell at that. Hiroko was the person who would yell and have fun and follow through at a party, while almost overly enjoying those serene tea time moments. There's a weird parallel with them. And it clearly goes to show that they do come from a different culture. Kiku himself doesn't really partake in much of the activity. But it's clear that he does take the time to rest, at least slightly.
I assume during the party moment, Honer is actually extremely awkward without realizing it.
Very much so.
Okay, cool, awesome. I just want to make that clear.
Honra is a wine and dine kind of party. This definitely does not suit wine and dine. And there are the occasional individuals who are not a part of our group who Honra talks to. Her very serious nature, even if she was trying to be kind, coming across to kids, could almost be described as slightly scolding, but not really. She doesn't really feed off the energy of the area.
Everyone's like, woohoo, and she would be like, yes, woohoo. Celebrate.
Very much.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
The people who fit in the best here are Moto and Hollow.
A bunch of lampposts walk into a bar.
The funny part is we are technically losing to Hanku on the fun meter.
No. A bunch of dead bodies walk into a bar. That's way more fitting. Because both Honra and Kiku have died before.
And Hanku's kinda sorta dead, and
Yeah.
Angel has never known fun.
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
And this is where we do the dreaded time skip. Easy.
Oh, I'm so sad. Like, I don't get fully. I needed to. Okay, before we do time skip, there needs to be a moment where. Because Honra needs to tell Mitika, yeah, by the way, this is my, like, aspirations and goals, and I want to convert you. During an appropriate time, of course.
We're not time skipping that far.
Okay, cool. Just time skip the party, because as much as I'd love to do that, Honra would love to partake.
We have a time schedule.
There's a time schedule, and, like, you know, there's some funny moments that happen, because funny moments, and haha, assumed.
We're all just standing there super gloomy in the corner.
Honra's T-posing to the party.
That's how she danced. She just T-poses and then ragdolls.
She says, ha, funny moment. This will be thought back upon. This is a bonding incident. When I die, you will remember this. And then she flops off to the corner because she had her one moment in the spotlight and doesn't show up again and is forgotten about. I mean, she is trying to be. Yeah. It's probably, look, she's wearing a party hat. Wow, that's so silly. I wonder what else happens.
At the base, there's a moment of recovery and rest. It's now much more crammed, having a couple extra bodies in here. Mixika and Moto surprised at the amount of effort put into one of these safe houses. This isn't even the one that we were staying at, Kiku and Honra. This is a different one.
Really? Oh yeah, he doesn't want to bring him back to the first safe house. Yeah.
Well, that's their safe house. They get compromised, they need a place to go.
Yeah.
Honra, of course, impressed, but rather expecting of such. She knew there was other safe houses, but really understanding the detail put into place for them. From the sounds of it, Hiroko Moto had interviewed Catgrat during some of the downtime,
Did
which
Honor get to? Probably not. She's probably dead, isn't she?
Honra very much wanted to, but it seemed that Hiroko Moto was keeping that fairly on the down low.
Damn you, Grail-kun!
From the synopsis, Catgrat was not willing to cooperate, and the moment she was given the option to take her own life, she did without hesitation.
Damn it. I wish
From
I could
what
have kept her in an ant cage.
from what Moto explained, Catgrat had no place left in the world that she wanted to exist in. That she was going to forever hunt us should she be given the claw's ability to. Catgrat was not willing to even listen to Moto on most occasions. It was almost as if she had gone mad into some sort of monster. She did, however, give useful information, stating that Riskir Doreed would have known of her failure, and that him, alongside Canis, without question, would be coming to take revenge.
Oh no. Oh man, that's who we're gonna fight next? Us trying to get to Berserker to fight like everyone else in the group. Berserker's gonna be the last person we kill.
Didi, on the other hand, had a couple other choice points of information to bring up.
Oh yeah, go Didi.
Catgrat had fallen to a presence known as the Nightmare.
Plug my
Meaning,
ears. That's all I know.
meaning her mind was almost completely unreadable. During the course of the battle, she embraced it for power, which didn't really come to much. But that the presence of the Nightmare has officially made a home. Didi, of course, during her time off, would be investigating this further, as it would not cause complications should it be removed immediately. Didi also brought up that Hiroko Moto seemed to understand the idea of keeping her prisoner forever, and his intentions were guided by the fact that it was more merciful just to put her down. Didi would have loved to keep her in a box and experiment on her for who knows how long.
No, with a dark night, not with a nightmare influence.
Especially with the nightmare influence.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
She described Moto as allowing her to take the way out while she still had humanity left to lose. Surprisingly humane. Either way, interrogating her was strictly made a Moto matter.
Uncool, bro. Uncool.
I personally, in my personal opinion, think that that's a better option.
I probably, but how would I
Putting
want it
Honra,
to see?
putting Honra beside her, if she had if she was like oozing nightmare fuel, at least like Moto's a servant and's gonna die anyways.
Yeah, and he's already corrupted by the Grail. I mean, corrupted by the Nightmare. I mean, Grail.
We don't need Honra to have that too.
Yeah. I'm really glad I didn't get hit once by her.
Starting to, I mean, get hit by a book.
Right, I did get hit by a book.
Within the short time, is there anyone that Honra wants to go and, or is there an event, a daily event that Honra wants to do, or talk to someone, or do anything? Or is it
She does
preparing for
have
the
to
next
talk.
mission?
Hmm?
Or is it preparing for the next mission?
Well, she does have to talk to Mitsuka and be like, yo, bro, bond level, let's go.
Talk to Mixika, shall we?
Alrighty. Oh, god, like, okay, we got this. I'm the confident one. Hello.
High confidence, how are you?
Hmm?
High confidence, how are you?
I will take everything and make it my own. Things will be mine forever.
Oh, confidence.
The world shall be my plaything, and I shall crush everything that stands in my path and make it my own once more. I shall conquer everything that ever has been and will be, and it will be mine for the rest of time. Or something like that, you know, just gals being pals.
Delete.
Hmm?
Delete.
Leet. Neat. I'm not feeling trauma right now, Fred. I refuse to feel trauma. I'll make everything except trauma mine. Oh.
Now it's not the whole world. Now it's just everything but trauma. I
Oh
see.
no, the world is trauma. Meh.
On his deadly laser.
What?
Mixika can be found taking a little bit of a breather when Honor goes to scout him down. This safe box, or this safe house, is within the warehouse district, meaning it's closer to our mark. It's also closer to the docks. Being outside isn't necessarily dangerous, but it isn't the safest place. It does allow one to get a little bit of air.
Okay,
Honor,
so was he doing exercising or is he just like getting some fresh air?
he's just getting fresh air.
Damn, this is not the place to have a conversation about my secret identity. The outside is not warded, right?
Not as heavily warded.
But it is slightly warded?
Yeah, from some anti-divination stuff, just not the lead bars or anything.
I mean, cool. So the Grail already knows about me, probably, so we're fine.
Yeah, unless there's like a top tier caster like trying to find your location at exactly this moment, you're fine.
Or assassin standing next to us. Perfect.
But assassin could stand next to us inside the base either way.
Exactly. And Mitzik has been living inside this new secret base, right?
Is now, yes. They've had a sleep there once.
How did you find your rest in this place?
It's surprisingly homely. I actually grew up in an apartment not quite as big as this. Of course, the apartment didn't have a bunch of monitoring equipment. Didn't have a dish on top of it. And we didn't have TV either.
Well, I'm glad you find it homely. And Kiku's the type of person to put in small details like that.
What did you mean when you called him a king the other day? Does that mean that you're a princess of some sort?
I was the High Priestess. It's a bit of a complicated story, and will sound a bit far-fetched. So, there's two ways I can tell you this. I can tell you it as a story, and show off some of my capabilities, or if you prefer, I can just talk to you normally and or I can just talk to you normally and tell you as nonchalantly as possible.
I don't know. I think I need a bit of convincing. I think you might need to tell me it as a story. You know, in order to help solidify our alliance.
God damn, you little fucking brat! I mean, what? No, that's not Hunger's Law. That's mine. I didn't have a story ready. Alright, let's get my performance ready. I am gonna probably start with... Did it not roll? Hello? Roll 20? Roll 20? Roll? Do you see it?
I see, that is an old dice roll, so no, it did not roll. It is not rolling.
I'm gonna refresh the page.
We're taking an ad break. Check back after the stream.
Damn it, there's another goddamn ad?
Yeah.
Well, this is perfect timing nonetheless. Thank you for letting me know. I meant to have the thing open so I could see when it happens.
Did somebody say advertisement?
This segment is sponsored by Silence.
Skip
Once
the dishes.
more.
Skip those dishes. Go right.
This
to
next
the
segment is sponsored by Silence. Interpose with random screams from the void. Ah!
Yeah, no, it's over on my side. I don't know.
Okay, cool. The ad break's over. Roll.
Performiaso.
Not the highest performance, but the performance isn't what matters, the role doesn't matter. She's probably going to start by undercutting the story a bit, by starting simply, and then ramp up the storytelling. At least that is the intention of mine, without a story pre-written, so I cannot cheat. Well, once upon a time, there lived a great kingdom of Wayne. It is more than likely that you have heard stories of the sorts, as many of the servants, especially within this war, came from Wayne itself. Many, actually, from the same time period, such as High Priestess Azori and the Executioner, as many things within this world has shown different signs of mythology, histories, and things of the such which resemble Wayne.
There's
I
no place
myself...
called Wayne.
Hmm?
There is no place called Wayne.
Not here, at least. You see, I am a descendant of High Priestess Azori. Thousands, if not hundreds of years within the future of her time. Is it hundreds of thousands? Is she exaggerating too much?
No, that's probably underselling it, but yes. It's a long ass time.
As from her time, many different apocalyptic threats slash forces has combated against different Waynes throughout history. To patch together a bit of the history books, which cannot be done properly here. After High Priestess Azori had fled towards the future, in order to reunite Wayne after the apocalypse struck, her brother Khaldun had single-handedly faced the apocalypse with the retainers and lost. Does she know about Dee Dee splitting the world or having an influence on that? No, she doesn't.
No.
Throughout that combat, it ended up that the world had become split within 5 different realms. Each realm carrying the hopes and dreams of a different Wayne, with different retainers and different people leading the charge. Some would have one of the royals of the generation, and others would have more, and some would have none, or all 3 of them. A moment of time that shattered and split, like the world had never seen before. That's an exaggeration. It could have totally happened before. After that moment, the worlds were tasked by the God of Eternal Service, in order to, because it was a God of Eternal Service by then, fight the fractioned apocalypse by themselves and reunite, some succeeding and some failing. But through hard work and dedication, Wayne had managed to pull through and reunite 4 out of the 5 kingdoms once more into the world that I came from. My world was I truly cherished them. My home. Although it was very split in some ways, 4 different sort of realms within a single world, with different cultures and of the sorts. It was my bloodline long ago when they first came together that was chosen to be the High Priestess, King and General. At the time there were, forces of the apocalypse on the world itself, alongside demons, as it was a 3-way power struggle in order to take control of the world and make sure that the other ones couldn't overrun us. We had only started our journey. In fact, we hadn't even officially gained our titles by then, of being the High Priestess, King, and General, as our family was still alive and operating, yet we were going on missions and doing our best to make sure that the demons would not corrupt those in our lands, and the apocalyptic forces would not overwhelm us. But unfortunately, things weren't to be that way. We might have had a grand destiny or plan, as the God of Eternal Service, also known as the Lower of Living, told us that one day would bring everyone who was worthy to a new land where we would be able to come back and start again, away from the forces of the apocalypse and away from any deitic influences. She definitely has that moment of like smiling to herself and just being happy because like the God of Eternal Service was out for the people. His goals was to help the people. He was the original deity that granted humanity their free will. All so many years ago. Countless. I had seen it with Yazoo. He gazed upon the past and saw the very first king of Wayne devoting himself, giving his freedom up once more so that he may fight alongside the God of Eternal Service's side and keep the freedom that humanity had won from the gods, thanks to the Lower of Living. His whole goal was just so that humanity could live without the influences of... so that humanity could live. But some sort of outside force, something beyond any comprehension, beyond the God of Eternal Service's plans and machinations happened. I don't know exactly what it was, but the world was lost. Even now the mystery is twisting, uncertain, like a void that's unable to be answered. Something at the corner of your thought that you swear was there but is no longer. And myself, my brother Kiku, and a few of our retainers found ourselves here, on this world. There will be a pause, like just a moment to see like how the audience is reflecting on that, whether or not he's completely like, this girl's crazy, or like, oh wow, like in-depth storytelling, this is a story, or if he's seeing this as a story currently, which is fine, or if he's seeing this as a just truth.
Well, that certainly was an info dump. Well, that certainly was an info dump.
Inflow what?
An info dump.
You asked for the story version.
I was kind of expecting it to be that you were, well, descendants from a royal bloodline in the south or one of the western countries. I wasn't expecting, well, in many ways, your entire religion.
Oh, yes. I mean... I have to...
Said that this god of living, well, they gave humanity freedom, which definitely doesn't really coincide with most what the churches teach.
I'm not a fan of whatever church is here. I don't know what sort of deity is there, or even if it's real or not. But if it is, I expect it to be some sort of external deity. There is a slight difference. There are deities that peer in from the outside to the inside of our worlds, and deities like the Lower of Living, which have a bit more of a close connection.
Mm, it's a lot of things to take in, but thank you for telling me it. As much as I could probably dismiss it as just honestly rantings of a mad woman, I believe you for some reason. Fully. All of it, as crazy as it sounds. And I don't think that's just attributed to your very good storytelling. I do believe you. I believe you that there was this shifting of the world and that there was multiple kings and all these generations came together and somehow we arrived here. It's like a part of my heart just knows it's true.
Oh man, that's okay. Wow. Yeah, no, like she's had that feeling before with Mitsuka, with the whole performance. Your performance convinced me that, well, if destiny does truly exist, that we were destined to meet in some ways. I think you're feeling something very similar.
I don't
Kind
know
of
if
like,
I'd call it destiny, but yeah, I, we just feel kind of like we're supposed to be on the same side.
I don't know what form Wayne will take. I do not know if it will continue with its name. But I have seen many lives. I've had visions that peered into the past, and I am very well aware of how things connect from the past to the future to the present. I want you to be my apprentice, so that you can create whatever world that you desire. You don't have to answer now.
He doesn't look like he's going to answer now.
Yeah, this is a good thematic moment to start to make my exit. Might as well keep up with the semi-air of mystery. Uh, Hanku and Kiku will also be able to confirm the story. Both of them lack my storytelling flair. And so if you have any more questions, whether it be about the safe house or anything else, any three of us should be able to answer you. Angel is from this world. Pausing for just a brief moment in case he has one final thing to ask before heading inside.
He seems to be very legitimately contemplating what you've told him. He just kind of nods in acceptance.
Gets to go inside. Woo, exercise! I hope she's doing up exercises still.
Well, that's a good way to spend the rest of some time getting some exercise.
Exercise, getting ready, make sure my stories are written up. Do I have my propaganda ready? My Wayne propaganda. I mean, I know that plan is kind of like on the sidelines, but like, you know.
You've enough to start Wayne propaganda. Like it's there's enough there that you could start it just loosely, and it's not the whole. Honor is a little perfectiony where she wants the whole thing. It's not the whole thing, but it could get the ball rolling.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like exercise is more important right now. Make sure I'm tip top shape, being able to like take care of my armor and stuff. Yeah.
In the background, there is the light hymn of Hanku, who eventually, at some point during the day, does start playing the piano just for morale's sake.
Lovely.
There's a different energy than you get with Mitsuka. Mitsuka, you get almost like a fate, destiny feeling. From a Hanku, you get this unbound raw talent and so much personality from hearing her play.
Their sounds do not mix well, do they?
No, not in the slightest.
Cool,
If you were
awesome.
to if you were to phrase the different types of performers you have in this room, Honra is a teller of stories. Mixika is a teller of truths. And
Is a teller of
Hanku's a
self.
story of self and tradition.
Damn.
You've never been, I mean, you never even knew Hanku's original people. But even just after hearing that one song, you feel like you know who they could have been.
I do have a
Outside,
story.
oh, sorry.
Nothing. I just realized like I remembered another story. I need to make sure I have like at least written down in case I die.
Let's input that.
Alicia. I need to make sure I have a story for Alicia, Kiku's daughter. If Kiku and her dies, so she can like at least read about like her father and her mother.
Silas, yeah.
Ilis, thank you, Ilis.
I mean, you don't really know anything about her mother.
What? I thought Kiku told me the story so I could.
I mean, you know her general principle, but you don't know much about her as a person.
Yeah.
You can write a lot more in depth on Kiku, but you could at least tell the story of her final moments.
Yeah, like whatever I can as well. I just imagine my magical paper book is just in the air writing as I'm just like doing stretches.
Kiku is going to do something terrifying.
By God, what is he gonna do?
Gonna take a risk. Setting out, coat over his back. Kiku travels to Central City and then north. A small scrawl of paper, the only indication, but he's long since memorized it and probably should burn it. The bus, filled with ordinary people who don't seem to know truly what's going on. The signs are there. Hey, you heard of the murders? Apparently there's some serial killer going around. They found a body in a dumpster the other day. Real shame. The executioner was not letting back. Although the executioner would have to stop for a break. That was the opportune time to strike. Getting off the bus, moving from train to train, truly was a miracle what you could do with modern traffic. This was a residential area. Houses row upon row in weird line-like patterns. Unlike the uniformity of Caugus back home, or even Highland, which was checkerboarded. Easy to believe that these houses were built within accordance to rivers or streams. Paths that were dug out for boats to travel up and down. While boats weren't a big part of culture, they made it very easy to move different pieces of equipment. He reached the address, a homely little spot. He produced from his bag a small basket filled with carefully put together assortments. He placed the basket in the lockbox, clicked the key, and dropped it through the mail slot. With that, he left.
I just realized something we forgot as well.
The dude, the drugs.
No, we didn't tell the freaking person that, hey, by the way, there's a master who's probably coming to, like, kill you.
I got that handled.
Okay, you got that? Cool, awesome. Sorry to interrupt. I just saw that and okay, cool.
Yeah, I got that handled. Taking his way back, those around him could swear Kiku had a smile on his face. It was simple. He could see her for just a split moment in the window. One day soon. Little eyeless. One day soon. They'll all get together. They'll have a big picnic.
I do absolutely love how we both had the same idea.
Waiting on that picnic.
Yeah. Fucking, we better get that picnic. If there's anything that happens, we better have a goddamn picnic together before we die.
With all the stages set, Kiku would bring up a map of their location.
Map drawing. Map drawing.
I'm drawing a map. This is where we are, in accordance to the executioner. The executioner, there is no map.
Oh, okay, you aren't drawing a map. Okay, I thought you were gonna draw a map.
No, I'll need time to put that together.
Next game.
I can see it. I'll need time. You'll just have to pretend there's a map there.
Okay, theater of the mind until next time.
The executioners stations themselves in the middle of this warehouse building. There's a journeyman's office right in the center, allowing them to look down onto any sort of construction work, at least if the building was operational. They're using this as a point to set up their attacks. In each corner, there's a mirror. No matter where you are in this building, you are under subject to fire from the archer. Berserker class servant. Even most places outside. Getting in close is almost impossible. However, underneath is a section that leads out to the sea. It will be dirty, but we can travel in through a release pipe, made for flooding. Underneath the establishment, there is a metal door. It's been welded shut. With enough firepower, we can carefully cut it out without drawing suspicion. The executioner is perceptive. Thankfully for us, perception is only in the eyes, not in the ears. I've deployed multiple sound traps in order to test this theory. The executioner's hearing range is not much longer than your own. If you remain stealthful and quiet, we should be able to enter in through the bottom here. By the time we get in and position ourselves within the industrial area, we'll have a short amount of time before the executioner realizes we're here. Orokomoto, you're going to have to move through this area quickly. Once we get on top of the executioner, that's not the least of our problems. They are able to produce pinpoint accuracy and very heavy damage in a short period of time. I have no doubt we'll be using another command spell in order to finish that fight. For you, Honra, we can't have you going into the front lines with Moto. But we will need you on the field. Specifically in this hallway, there's 2 mirrors, and you'll need a subterfuge. Utilizing your illusion prowess. I myself will also be on the field. I need to hit this mirror to give us the best chance of running. The executioner won't be looking for illusions. They're more reflex mirrors. If she sees a twitch, she knows to look. The executioner is also smart. Smart beyond mention. I have no doubt that that area is trapped. It'll be my job to dismember those. Once we have a right of way, Orokomoto will have to engage. From that point, the both of us will have to disengage. Meeksika, I'm going to need you to position yourself in this building across the way. You are not to look through these binoculars that I have positioned there until combat has started. Else you'll put yourself at risk for the executioner. The executioner will target masters. Meanwhile, Anku, I need you to watch over Meeksika. Angel, you've been briefed on your position already. See to it that's done. That is our plan of attack. We also have the instance that Riskier Druid and Canis will be coming after us. We currently do not know their position, but they were last seen in the north. It'll likely take them some time. I don't believe we're their first priority, much as Catgrat intended. I believe their first priority instead lies with Eshin. She herself has also been in the northern fields. Mage Association has shut down the northern city due to a threatened terrorist attack. This, of course, is not true. It is the harvesting of mana from the residents. Eshin is without a master, and while she does possess independent action of some degree does not feel her power. Thankfully, Lancer, Canis, and Riskird might be dealing with her personally. The final notes: Assassin still is unknown. We do not know where Assassin is, nor do we have tabs on Malik Jatar. Be careful. I doubt they'll attack us anytime soon. But when we do, we are definitely not faced with them. We cannot go into the final act with them as our opponent. And what about Catgrat? What happened to her? She took her own life. Decided to preserve her honor as a human before she descended into a monster. Kiku nods. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but I'll take your word for it. Which begs the question. From what I heard, there was an assassin, a caster, a rider, a lancer, an archer, a berserker, and one other, but in the first game, you told me that there was a saber as well. Who is the saber in this game? If assassin is this creature called Zabayashi, caster was a lady from the other night, rider is Hiroko, Canis is probably Lancer. We're going after Berserker. And, well, you think that Eshin is Archer. Who's Saber? I don't know the answer to that question. 1 second. Who the hell is Saber?
Lawrence? Wait, did Lawrence have we who have we missed? Because it's Lawrence, I don't know who's Lawrence is. Is that Footman?
Lawrence Footman, he summoned Ryder.
Okay.
Lawrence was the guy who was like, I'm super wealthy and whatnot. Because Malik, we saw him summon Assassin. Catgrat, we saw her summon Caster. Lawrence, we saw him summon. Lawrence,
Drew.
we saw him
Oh,
summon
right.
Moto.
Drew. Drew is his name, right? Who did Drew summon?
We figured that Grexian summoned Drew.
Right. That is Grexian. Oh.
We figured Drexian summoned Drew. But all we know is that Grexian summoned Berserker,
No, we
which we
assumed
know.
he was up in Berserker. We guessed it.
We assumed he
That's
summoned Berserker. Well, we are correct.
oh, okay. So Grexian
Because
summoned.
if we assumed he summoned Berserker, Berserker is the executioner because we got the alter ego Berserker.
Are we missing an entire master in this without realizing it?
We're missing an entire master because that was Katili summoned Eshin and died instantly. Baltimore summoned Azori, which we kidnapped. We are missing an entire master solely because we had Dee Dee, who we assumed would take the spot of Saber, which we know that's not how that works.
Yeah.
No, I literally I just asked Kiku. We do not know who Saber is.
Damn. Do you think that the people who created the girl has Saber somehow?
I'd be impressed.
Did they put their hands back into the pot without us knowing?
I we have no way of telling. But it would make sense if they couldn't get ruler, but they just summoned a servant normally. We know that Azori was eventually taken over, or not Azori. We know that Eshin was eventually contracted by I know her name, Marilyn, by arguably by force. Who the hell summoned Saber? No, we don't know who summoned Saber. We have our theories, but none of them stand.
I remember you saying no. Hey, never mind. No, no.
There may be an altered rule behind this. Honestly, we do not have enough information on Saber. The original assumption was that one of our previous contestants, or at least someone watching the war, a man who goes by Grexian, we assumed he summoned a servant, and that servant was Berserker. We put that to Drew. It is simply just conjecture. The Grexian did still summon Drew as a saber, and that Archer's master, or Berserker in this case, master, they both were up for debate. The best theory I have going for the time being is that both Saber and Berserker were summoned by Grexian. Berserker ended up making their way independently to set up right now, while Saber is probably guarding them in their northern manor. Two servants, that's a lot of work to bear. And why is everyone going north all of a sudden? That is where the leader of the Grail is. The ones who put it together. They want to be close in case something happens that they can pull. Perhaps a favor. Whoever Saber is at the moment, we can ignore them. We'll have to deal with them in the future. Yes, because we originally assumed that Grexian summoned a servant, but we have reason to believe Grexian summoned a second servant as well.
Okay, cool.
Which
But not
shouldn't be
confirmed.
possible. It's
Well,
assumption.
Grexian is a monster, so
He is a monster, but all we know about him is how he feels. He's
Hmm.
impulsive. Grexian, all we knew about him was he was impulsive.
Strange theory. Because we've only seen Grexian. This might be a bit metagamey because I know for Go or Fate series. What if the second servant he summoned was like infused with himself? What if instead of summoning the second servant, he
He ate
summoned
it.
the second servant within himself to be kind of like a pretty much avatar of the servant?
Because the only people we really have that we know of, and it could be someone we just don't know of, it could be two, that too. If they straight up summon their servant outside our range of designation, like our range of like just looking, it could have been Grexian summoned the servant into himself. It could be that the leaders are putting their hands back into the pot because that addictive. We don't have a whole lot of other people who would really put their hand into the pot, though, or should know about it. Or, well, if they do know about it, it's not someone who was invited. We knew all these names because, like, we knew who the second war was going to consist, but the only one we ninja a server from was the ruler class.
Wasn't the saber not supposed to be in this one, or like not wanted, or no? That was a theory that was debunked. The whole idea that Saber was the only one who could resist the mind altering effects of the Grail.
Yeah, that was one of our theories that we had. We came to this realization before, we just forgot it since then. Our
Mm-hmm.
thought process was, wow, Saber last time was Meteo, and Meteo was the only person who was good.
But we already discovered how they were quote unquote bad.
You know, it could easily still stand that Saber has high enough magic resist that they just couldn't have a Saber, but there's no reason that they wouldn't still have one potentially summoned.
Yeah.
I think it's better to assume that um, Ellie and Ellie and Haida summoned the Saber class servant for defense
Yeah, that makes sense.
because they don't have access to the ruler anymore. What's even more concerning is that while they summon that, if they summon that for defense, they like that's even more reason for everyone to gravitate to the north.
Yeah.
At least the north doesn't have a whole lot of people in it, but it sounds like people are trying to ramp the war up. That essentially means that us, Assassin, and Berserker are the only ones still in the south.
Yeah, which I hate Assassin right now.
We have no way to combat Assassin.
But
The
luckily,
only
Assassin
thing,
shouldn't be coming after us.
yeah,
If anything, it's more useful for Assassin to listen in on us, hear our planning, hear our scheming, hear everyone's north, and then not deal with us right now.
mm-hmm. But we do need Assassin to. There's no way in hell that Jatar is going to send Assassin into a fight. He is going to make sure Assassin's the last one standing.
Yeah. And Jatar is going to probably be there because he's confident with his abilities.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably not going to make Assassin fight, and he's going to fight himself, or fight alongside Assassin, literally.
Worst part is, I actually believe Jatar is going to be capable of taking a servant.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe Jatar can do it. I can believe that Grexian can do it. I do not believe that Lawrence can do it. Like a full-on Canis level servant. I hope that Canis wins against Ashen. If they
I
fight,
feel like
I hope wins.
the only reason she'd lose is because she's away from the water. But they probably have a way of bringing the water to her.
It's true. She also has a master. I don't think we can. The two servants I don't think we can fight right now are Assassin, or are Zabayashi and Eshin. We can't get close enough to Eshin without risking just death. She literally AoEs it to the point where Hiroko Moto is just going to eventually just whittle away. And Zabayashi is capable of just being like, I'm behind you, one slice dead.
Yeah.
Zabayashi could technically 3-turn us.
Yeah. And
There's
Kiku
no
can't shoot him.
guarantee. I can't shoot him. Kiku can't shoot him. We can't fight. You know who we need to fight Assassin?
Who's that?
Kato Makune.
I do love that. I want to bring Kamakune back just for that. That's probably why he's still alive. Duh.
If Didi makes him the enemy to Jatar, it could be a way of baiting out Assassin.
The only problem is that he doesn't have the spell tattoo of like reincarnation, so he's just gonna die a lot easier.
Oh, he's gonna die a lot easier. This is a puzzle game. Like, this is a chess game. And it's really, really dicey on how we play. Because we're taking out Berserker. Berserker couldn't kill Assassin. The Berserker's a good one to take out. Because Berserker can't kill Assassin. And Berserker...
Well, no, yeah, I guess so.
Berserker can kill Eshin. But won't kill Eshin.
Yeah.
Meaning our two biggest enemies, I mean, she can't help us with. So getting her off the field means that we don't have to deal with her later. How I see it, personally, my opinion, is if we can get Riskird to take out Eshin, and we can find some way of getting rid of Assassin, we have a better chance against Canis than we do most of them.
Yeah.
It's not a good chance, but I believe we have a better chance against Canis than most people. Canis is the fight where we're going to lose people on. Canis is the fight where Moto's going to die. But that's exactly why we need Canis to be the fight Moto's going to die. Because we need Moto for every other step. As cruel as that sounds, Moto has 3 fights in him. 2 left. He's not a strong enough servant that he can actively take a servant without needing a command spell heal. It's unfortunate, but it's true. He cannot take any of the servants in a war without a command spell. So he has 3 fights in him. And then once all the spells are gone, he's done. maybe a fourth. That fourth fight, if we get that far, we're gonna have to sack that into Canis, because Canis is terrifying. I'm more worried of Canis than Castor. And that's solely because we can't hurt Canis. We have to put in a lot of work just to hurt her. She has speed, she has potency, she has ability, and she's controlled by a madman.
What you're saying is that it's hopeless.
Oh no, we're actually sitting in like the best position for an Holy Grail where I think we've sat in this entire campaign. It can turn hopeless though. So when when all hope is lost, we have a segment where we go and hang out with somebody who is the arbiter of hope and passion and friendship and
Lingua.
the benefit of everyone's sanity.
Lingua? Lingua?
So why don't we go say hi to Frenchie?
Lingua!
It's a good way of our segmenting off the episode.
Yeah, next time we didn't want to start a fight right now. Woo, it's great, Lingua! Go away, Moto. You aren't cared about.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Don't look at me like that, Lingua. I see you peeking behind your token. You're not careful, that attack is gonna reverse into you.
That's Moto. A taxi! A taxi! Hold the taxi! A man frantically running down the street trying to flag down the nearest taxi. One hand around his waist. The other hand holding on to a little brimmed hat and a cane. The taxi, almost debating whether or not it wants to just drive off or to wait for the man heralding it down, chooses the latter and drives off. Are you Brighton? How rude it is to drive away on so... This is what we do with all the civility. Isn't that right, my friend? I say, you could slow down a bit, old boy. You're going to give me a heart attack. Where are you off to in such a hurry, anyways? I mean, it's not but a little bit of time for the trial, and if you're asking me, it's looking quite dastardly. At least in the fact that Miss Criswalk's going to get off all scot-free. You remember, my friend, when we were in the study. I simply remember you getting all furious on it. Well, in this study, I had known something and was such a fool. I did not see it with my own eyes, but I knew it within my heart. On the table, there was these small little bundles. Paper. They themselves were twisted, used to light candles with oil. I do recall them. That was the will! The missing will! It was torn and turned into those small bundles. I was too concentrated of how abysmal the state of affairs were kept. The pile of garbage. And now with the taxi gone, how will we get there in time before the execution takes place? That chief inspector, he definitely wanted to rush things along. Yes, he is one of the good ones, but he can be so pig-headed at sometimes. If he hangs her, then an innocent woman will die. But now, we have no way to get back to the countryside in such little time. Well, if you were looking for the countryside, I might have a solution, you know. Solution, you say? Yes, yes. In fact, the other day, I just bought one of those motorized vehicles. It's a quite spiffing ordeal. Why don't we just go to the garage and pick it up? Why did you not tell me this sooner? I tried, but you were too busy with the Times. Telling me of the matters. No. I was too busy telling you that you should not waste your time on frivolous activities such as races. You having a vehicle, this changes everything. So you'd be willing to go on a ride with me sometime after this is all over. That is not the point. Let us move quickly. Quickly with haste. Let us get to your garage and find the will. Right away. Two men rush off. The rickety old car must have been 40 or 50 years old now, barely holding itself together. Does this thing not know what suspension is anymore? I swear I'm going to die before the victim will. I'm trying to get us there as fast as I can. We took the vehicle out of shop before we were able to get the shocks installed. Again, you must tell me these things before. Then we will not have so many problems. If it wasn't for the Brighton customs, we would have been in cab already. Well, that's hardly my fault. I'm just angry, my friend. Absolutely furious that I did not see the clues right in front of me. Yes, that is a little off-putting. Maybe you're just getting old. That is not assuring, my friend. Getting old. Are you telling me that I'm going to start forgetting things? Like our sponsor, Amazon Prime.
Damn it, there's another ad? I am so sorry. I could have delayed that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
I was too busy drawing, couldn't do it properly.
That matters not anymore. We must travel with haste. But you sure? It'll be a bit more bumpy, you see. With lives on the line, I think I can survive just one bumpy trip. We have to get back, too. Do not remind me. I've never seen you in such a spittle. But you will be one of the only for some time. It is only in great injustice that such thing happens. And the injustice here is the insult that they thought that vehicles could be made such a way without destroying one's backbone and spine. Arriving at the house, they quickly, frantically, and with most efficiently knock on the door. Miss Belltower, I would like to see the room, if you wouldn't mind. No one has touched it, have they? It is impervious that no one has entered or left the room. Well, no. No one's been in the room since you have. I've locked the door and had the key to myself. Even that latch, I busted it down so that no one could get in through the side door. You are most prominent and pertinent. I respect that in you greatly. Now please, the key. Right here. Click, 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 click. But of course, here you are, in little strips. I say, this changes everything. This is practically a letter of confession. Precisely. And those two, I wouldn't have imagined they would ever have had any sort of involvement with each other. A ruse we should have seen coming from the very beginning. No one goes out of their way to hate someone so much as she did. To think that they were actually committing a form of adultery. Yeah, does make sense of why the old lady was hit off. Now quickly, get back to the vehicle. We must start and go. Thank you, Miss Bella. And please, when you get the chance, there's a little bit of a broken glass still on the carpet. If you could go through it with a fine brush and just bring it out, I could feel it at my... Now, come on, Lenqua. You can hound her about her cleaning ethics later. Brett, of course. Let us move. Thank you for everything. Thank you. And au revoir. So, are you telling me that you took money from Mr. Lancaster? No, of course I haven't. So you received no money at all. Well, a loan, and that's about it. That is all I need to hear from the witness. It seems quite simple to me. In the instance of attending her childhood home with the woman who raised her, Lady Criswalk made her way in with devious intent. Under the cover of nightfall, she was recorded arguing with her brother and her mother. What a deplorable ploy. She was going to be cut out of the will, and thus the right name to her finances and the house would be transferred over to the new spouse. Something that she disagreed with greatly. Using a small amount of poison in the candles, she made sure that her mother would light a fire on such a day like this and poison her. We have already found traces of strychnine within the candles. And we have already had the admittance that money was lent out as to provide a courteous debt to transfer funds. You were to be cut out of the inheritance entirely. From as I see it, you killed your mother in order to protect the previous will. I present that to the court. With all the information, it seems clear that she should hang. No, hanging would be too affordable for this witch. If I could have it my way, her pockets would be filled with stones and her thrown into the river. Enough, enough! And for the defense, what do you have to say against these incriminating pieces of information? And not so fast! While your country is very, very big, I, Langqua, have something to present to the court, in which is a confession of guilt. Now, order. This is that private detective you were talking about. Langqua. Ah, yes, sir, that's him. He always kind of pulls up last minute in some of these scenarios. It's rather unfortunate, but I'd hear him out to what he has to say. He's proven me wrong a couple of times in my own jurisdiction. Now, this is absurd. This is not how our court proceedings take place. You have to have evidence placed down in the pile before anything is adjourned. I would like to hold a reassessment so that I can produce another attack against the victim based on this new evidence that has been provided. That's fine. Please, if you would for the time being, come over here, Mr. Bergand, and place upon the pedestal so that I can see this evidence for myself. If you will, I have a slight request as well, that I present the evidence and my findings, not as a defense of Madame Criswell, or as an attack to anyone in particular, but simply stating the facts of what I have found in my investigations. I solemnly swear to the Almighty God above that I am telling you nothing but the truth when I present this information and the true culprit. Very well. You're allowed to speak. The ploy was ingenious indeed. If it was not for Jefferson, this would have all been but too easy. You see, in your country, there is a rule where one once convicted is not allowed to be convicted for the same crime again should he be approved. Jefferson, the widowed husband, he himself had chosen to marry into money, something that no one liked of him. He despised everyone around him, and everyone around him despised him, especially Juliet. They could not even be in the same room with one another without her leaving or trying to throw a flurry of verbal disputes. I thought this was weird, but besides, I digress. Everyone had assumed Jefferson of being a money launderer. There was 40 years between them in age. He was nothing out for but the money. He was convicted, but he had an alibi. He, of course, was found just in the tavern on the night of her death, and we all know that strychnine does not take but a couple hours to enact, if not immediately. He, of course, had an alibi and was approved of such charges, so could not be charged again. Even though that the evidence I provide to you right now will prove otherwise, I do say that it was he who ended up killing his wife. But, of course, we cannot arrest him on such crime. He has already been approved thanks to your country's legal system. No. He had poisoned his wife in order to take the inheritance for the new will in which was burned, and made sure to leave everything to him. He had no reason to dispose of it. It was inconsequential. It was the unimportant piece of evidence. Even the old will, he would end up receiving most of the monetary funds, and including one estate down in the Southern Isles. More than enough money for him and his accomplice to live carefully. No, the will, of course, it has some indication of motive, but nothing too seen. This will, however, this new one, was written none by Jefferson. And you will find on the piece of paper that I provided you that this is the same handwriting, not the handwriting that you compared itself to the one we found at the apothecary. No, no. Mr. Jefferson has wrote both a will and the letter to his lover, Madame Juliet. Now, as you read it,
Murmur, 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 murmur. I assume the place is murmuring.
that's a good way of putting it, because yes. Madame Juliet. She had been living in town and had left the first day, so there was no way she could be attributed to the crime. But he was ever so endowed with his lover that he had to inform her that the poison placed into a normal vial, well, had been from him. It was not the candles, but her own medication that had killed. By adding bromine to tonic, it allows the crystals to float to the bottom and become lethal on the final dose. That final dose was the last dose she took before retiring to her bed. And where did this bromine come from, you ask? None other than Madame Juliet. She had provided an ample excuse to leave, travel to the apothecary, disguised as her lover, while her lover made alibi in the local tavern, drinking and singing other lullabies. But really, the poison had been planted far before. You are looking at a genius-mattered trap. This is preposterous. This evidence is completely circumstantial. Besides, I have yet to look at that letter. Oh, but you have already done the letter, defendant. Or aggressor, in your case. You will be a defendant soon enough, I am sure. You, of course, knew of the letter from the beginning because you were the third accomplice in the murder. I knew this from the very beginning. Simply, how could you have burned your hand on a rung of metal when the rung of metal had only been installed the night before on the fireplace? Beforehand, it was completely stone, meaning you had to have been in the building at the same time that the ink predates that this murder has taken place. You are there, monsieur. You are in the very room because you had something that the late and most recently deceased Criswalk had. A letter telling you nothing more that you would no longer be employed at the Criswalk household and you are no longer entitled to your benefits. Benefits in which you needed in order to launder money.
Gasp! Murmur, 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 murmur.
Quiet, quiet, quiet. You're allowed to see the information. We'll reconvene in an hour, where I will make my final verdict. Thank you, Langua. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd been so caught up in all this nonsense, I wasn't thinking straight. No, 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 madame. It is not your fault. You are going to be framed also that others could make away with your mother's money. Not that you needed the money much. You are already a world-renowned, famous person. You created the aeroplane. There's already something much to look for. Yes, but a lot of my assets are wrapped up in the family. I would lose most of that patenting anyways. It was my mother who ended up doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. But your mother, I knew of her once, back a long time ago. She was very smart, very intelligent, much like myself. It is all right. You are safe now, and I'm sure that both of them, no, all three of them will be facing hanging despite this country's laws. It tends to have a more secretive manner of dealing with criminals that I disapprove of. But they will find he was more than guilty, and you will see his record erased from the stain of existence. Sometimes the answers are the most obvious. Everyone does not like the newcomer, who seems to be laundering for money. Well, the newcomer, in this fact, was, in fact, as you call it, a gold digger. I always didn't like that. C.D. Jefferson, man. 40 years. That's far too young. Langlois! Ah, yes. I can't believe it. You ran all the way here. What were you thinking? I was thinking that I needed to be on time, and your driving would have ruined the mood. Now, what say the three of us meet up with Orange, and we have a cup of ever so steamed tea? Besides, Miss Criswalk, I have many things to ask you. Some of them involving your late friend, Brenton Alleyne. Brenton, he wasn't really a late friend, but I'd be happy to tell you everything I could about him. That would be most guys. No, chop chop. Let's leave this dreary courtroom and dreary black sky. I feel like it's about to rain at any moment, or snow. Your weather, it does not understand itself. Ending.
Wait, Brenton died? What the fuck's going on?
Brenton's dead.
When?
Must be recent.
Damn, yeah.
It has to be recent. Like, it can't not be recent.
Like, he was still alive when we left, right?
Well, Brenton wasn't in the. He was alive from what we knew of ever since the attack on the institution.
Okay, so he died sometimes after that, so it's not our fault. Cool, awesome.
No, we didn't kill him.
Also, is it me or is the Grail causing misery for literally everyone involved with the Grail?
I think it is.
'Cause that is not normal. And, like, I'm so glad he's there to prevent that. But damn, what is this nonsense? Oh my god, it's actually legit just targeting people connected to the Grail and putting them inside, like, impossible situations to win, only for Langlois to come and save the day.
Getting harder for him.
What?
The Grail is also scaling.
I mean, that's great because we just have to keep it busy. I'm sad that
it's bad, I would say, because it has a deadline. I mean, it's distracted, that's good, but it has a deadline. It's scaling because the first side story which we looked at Langlois on, it was easy 1-2. The second one, it was kind of hard 1-2. The third one, it was getting harder 1-2. This one, he almost didn't get it.
Yeah, which, you know, probably means that we're kind of messing up with killing more people in some ways because we're granting it more power, but at the same time, that's kind of what we need to do. You know?
Yeah, I mean he's like an antibody. He's trying to contain the virus.
Yeah, and like, we're not being affected as much because, I don't know, because like, each servant we kill realistically gives this Grail a boost of power, right?
Theoretically,
So that's. Golly.
that's a good question. If there's a way of like feeding it the power of friendship, because our current answer is just to get all the power and kind of like not use it through its own means and just like hack the power.
It's literally get it powered up so we can like give it to the God of Eternal Service in a neat bow.
But there might be a legitimate there might be a legitimate reason to instead I mean, it might not be the right path, but we could try and instead just try and dissipate the thing. The problem is it's pretty much a bomb, so I mean, I think dissipating it is going to essentially set it off.
Yeah, and like that's not the plan we've been heading towards, and we can't really back out now.
But that is essentially what the Grail does. It puts you into situations where you're forced to continue through to the end. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
If anything, it's the idea of like getting to the end and then make it, because right now we can't really stronghold it, and it can't strong like what happens if we get down to two of us, the like anyone who's not like a super sociopath, then it's going to force us to kill each other, cause misery and the such. Yeah, I don't know, it's a hard situation. Honyo is kind of
That's
in the
why
position.
that's why we can't have a servant at that point.
Yeah, but clearly it's still affecting people outside of it, so it's hard to say for sure. It definitely has ways of getting rid of people, such as like, yeah, it has ways of getting rid of people.
Indirectly at the very bare minimum.
Yeah.
We don't know how power. At least seven servants worth. Eight. Eight servants worth a bomb. 9, 10, 11. 11 servants worth? No, 10 servants worth a bomb. So I guess the best indication is
Level 100.
mm, it's probably a pretty big bomb. It's only going to get bigger. There's an argument of was like, oh, we could just try and evac everyone and set it off and just call it like a war crime or something. But like another problem is we don't actually know where it is.
Yeah.
We don't know where ground zero is yet.
And we don't
'Cause,
know how stable the world is. The world could literally concave from that.
yeah, we're sitting on a fractal. Like we're not sitting even on an entirely proper world. It's just kind of put together. It's like a domain of dread. If you know anything about it is literally a domain of dread. Might as well be like if you know like Curse of Strahd, it's only Barovia, but like the rest of the world is like past the mist somewhere, and it's probably like
Yeah, I mean,
if you if
pretty
you
much, yeah,
if
it's
you
a faction world.
if you blow a hole in it, there's a lot less impact resistance.
Oh,
It's a little
golly gee.
dicey.
Okay.
It's a little dicey.
Same still problem. It's like a magic bomb, so it's not like just physical damage. It's probably also, ripping a hole through space and time.
I mean, if there was a way to manifest all that power into like some sort of arrow of light and just shoot it away, that would be really cool.
I think the whole giving it to because Honya is not too concerned with her life or this world. She's more concerned with giving that power to the God of Eternal Service to set things right. But at the same time, if she fails, and yada yada.
Honor is surprisingly detached.
Honor is surprisingly detached while being completely detached to the situation. That being said, y'all have to get going, don't ya?
Yeah, I need to make some. I need to make some lunch too.
Emma, thanks for stopping by. I just got hit with a wave of exhaustion from this. Oh, like all the tension and like preparation is just leaving my body.
You can feel the mercy leaving your body.
What?
You can feel the mercy leaving your body.
The mercy is evacuating my body. You're correct. I'll see y'all next time. Friday, I'll probably be watching Autumn's Nonsense. Um, Other than that, tomorrow Sunday there won't be a stream. But hey, yeah. And throughout the day, I mentioned already about like Monday, Tuesday. I'm probably gonna fulfill your desire of doing a chatting and chatters. But that is all for the updates. I will see y'all next week, bare minimum, probably. Thanks for watching. Bye, bye.
Peace.